morning. We have had quite long meditation before I came. I was a little late today. So the topic is about the mantra, which is divine name. The topic itself says the mantra is the divine name of God. In fact, the mantra, the very word mantra, when it's analyzed, it says manana trayate iti mantra. What is the meaning of mantra? Word mantra. Mantra means that which, when repeated with reflection upon its meaning, gives liberation and saves the seeker. So mantra is that word which has the power to give liberation from all suffering, all incompleteness, all imperfection, and save us from this worldliness. But how repeated, that also is said in the definition of mantra, it has to be repeated with reflection on its meaning. Just uttering the word doesn't become really the repetition of mantra. What I am repeating, the meaning has to come in the mind. If I say Ram, then I have to remember that I am remembering God Supreme, who is Supreme Brahman, Shuddha Brahma Paratpara Ram, Supreme Brahman who took the human form as the son of the sun. That we can say. Or even say Ram if you don't want to have this personal God idea. If you want to have only impersonal God, Ram also denotes that which is denoted by the word God, which is denoted by the word Om, which is denoted by the word Allah. The same. But when we repeat the mantra, it will become, you will have to reflect on the meaning of the word. Of course, meaning of the word of mantra that is given by a guru is God, the Supreme Being, our source and our goal, from where we have come and where we have to go ultimately at one day, one time. That is the mantra. Mantra, in fact, is a sacred word. It can be a phrase or mystic syllable, and it is used in japa. For example, you see, Om itself becomes mantra, and beautiful mantra that is said praised in the Upanishad. It is said that those who wanted to reach God, they meditated upon the mantra. Yadi chanto brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe om iti etat. For which, desiring which, the human beings practiced lot of austerities, practiced continence, meditated a lot on Om, on that. That I tell you in short, what is that? Om iti etat. Om, that is Om. So Om, the word, is the goal. How the word can be goal? How the word can be source? How the word can be the very hankering of our soul? Not a word, but the one which is denoted by the word. Patanjali in Raja Yoga says, Tasya Vachaka Pranavaha. How that reality is called, what is its name? He says, its name is Pranava. Pranava is Om. Or any name of the God its name of the God is God Himself or herself. That is what they say, Nama Nami Abheda. There is no distinction or difference between name and by the things by which the name denotes. For example, when we say someone's name, like we say Kakoli, then the person Kakoli comes to our mind. We don't feel any difference. If we say Kakoli or if we say John, the John himself will feel, I'm talking about the John. I met John. Whenever the John is said, the person who is in our mind as John comes in front of us. We say John is coming. So not the word is coming, but word and the being that is denoted by the word is very inseparably linked together. That is with any person or anything. We say table, we say lectern, we say chair, anything. When you say chair, the word itself reminds and it denotes the chair on which we sit. So that is about the word, divine word, word of God. The word and the names are not different. So how this power of word and this faith in word works, you see. Once Rukmini was weighing Krishna with gold. And Krishna was sitting on one side of the balance, big balance was brought, and one side of the balance, Krishna was sitting, another side the gold was put. But what happened that that was not balancing. Krishna was so heavy, all the gold, that gold in the coffer, in the treasury was put, and Krishna was not being balanced. So much of gold, many quintals. But Krishna was still heavier. So how to balance the gold, Krishna with gold? So it was very difficult. Then Satyabhama came and she said, no, Krishna cannot be balanced with any wealth in the world. Whole world we put on one side. Why gold? Whole world we put on one side, on another side you put Krishna. Krishna will be heavier. World will be lighter, useless, worthless compared to Krishna. I will do. How we can balance Krishna? So she brought one tulsi leaf, very sacred vessel leaf, which is considered to be very, very sacred to the Vishnu or Krishna. And on that she wrote the name Krishna and put on another side of the balance. Immediately it balanced, showing that the name Krishna and the person Krishna are same. The name and the person by which that person is known, the name is same. Another story that is we find in this also in the Gospel, in this Satyabhama, Rukmini and Krishna. Another story in the Gospel is about the faith in the name of God. How this God has, if we have faith. So some person was coming from Lanka or Ceylon or Sri Lanka to India, and there was no ferry available, no ship was there, and how to cross the ocean, that strait, that Indian Ocean between Sri Lanka and India. So Vibhishan called that person who was to go, and he said, I tie this in the corner of your cloth, you can walk on the water. And that person really, when Vibhishan said, the king said, he was coming to India. And when he came in the water, in the middle of the ocean, he thought, what is that power in this corner of the cloth? What he has given? Let me see. Just he saw, opened that, and he saw in a small piece of paper it was written Ram. Then he thought, this much, the name of Ram. What is their power in that? As soon as the doubt came in the name of God, the man drowned. That person drowned. So faith in the name of God is the power of mantra. Now let us see what type of mantra. Mantra, the divine name and the prayer in all religions. For example, we know that in Old Testament there is the saying that give unto the Lord the glory due to His name. How the name of God is glorious, that should always be maintained. That it says in the Old Testament. It is not only Hindus that repeat the name of Ram or Krishna or Kali. It is in every tradition, every faith, the God has been equated with divine name. The Eastern Orthodox tradition has been there. If you read the Pilgrim's Progress or Philokalia, there is the saying that how a mendicant was repeating the name, Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me. Day and night, that was the prayer. That was the mantra for him. Lord Jesus Christ, the Son of God, have mercy on me. And with that, he had grown and got so much of spiritual power. Hail Mary, it's another mantra. Glory to Mary. That much. With the meaning that Mary, who conceived, who had God in her womb, and who is the mother of God, mother of Jesus, made her name be glorified. And very common is the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven. All these are the different prayers, but they denote the name of God, the importance of the name of God. In Buddhism, most common prayer is, common mantra phrase is Om Mani Padme Hum. That you'll find the Tibetans, even they don't chant, they have big cylinders rolling cylinders, and there the Om Mani Padme Hum is written. They just roll that, and it encircles, it goes around. They think that the mantra has been repeated. So power of mantra is being said in that, of course, unless you have that in mind, your mind dwelling somewhere else, and you repeat the mantra, you roll the cylinders, that won't be very efficacious. But still, you have gone near to the mantra. Something will be there, not very efficacious. Even when we do japam, if our mind is not concentrated on the meaning of the mantra or on the mantra, and mind is dwelling somewhere else, and we are repeating mantra, Om God, Om God, Om God, God doesn't really come so close. We feel that. But if we are connected to God, we are thinking of God and saying Om God, then we feel that joy of the mantra, repetition of mantra. We feel ourselves purified. We feel happy. Mantra gives peace and happiness. Immediate we can taste. We had yesterday vigil. When people came and they did japam and tried to do meditation, reflection on the meaning of the mantra for 1 hour. Sitting and doing. Generally, very few of us do that 1 hour japam. But that day we do, and everyone when goes, yes, and year, month after month they come, the same people. That is the power of doing japam, with mind fixed on it. The more we can fix the mind on the meaning of the mantra and repeat that, the more peace and joy we feel. If we don't feel, yes, it has effect, but slower effect, less intensity, more time will take. Islam's that beautiful mantra is Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. What does it mean? In the name of Allah, the merciful, the compassionate. You'll find any Muslim, religious, devout Muslim, he starts speaking, he starts doing something. This sacred mantra, he will say, he'll remember Allah, the Supreme Being by whose grace and compassion we are born and we are sustained in this world. That being is always remembered. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. That in the name of Allah, the merciful, the compassionate, the God, the Brahman, the same, named differently. In Hinduism, as I said, the most common and most brief mantra is Om, and most sacred, coming in the tradition through thousands of years. That Om is the name. What is Om? Om is the name of God, the Supreme Impersonal Being. We say Om Kali, Om Krishna, Sri Ramakrishna said. The same Om Kali, Om Krishna, Om Shiva. Om is common. That Kali, Krishna, Shiva are the different forms of that formless being. The infinite, supreme Satchidananda, that takes the form as you want. The God is so compassionate that you want Him to see in the form of Mother Kali. If you have yearning and so much desire, so much love, that God takes the form of Mother Kali. Another person wants to see God in the form of Krishna, playing flute, wearing nice yellow dress, and dark complexion, beautiful, most sweetest face, most attractive personality. And that Satchidananda Brahma, the same being who appeared as Kali to one person, that same being will appear as Krishna to that person. And Shiva to another, Ramakrishna to another, Chaitanya to another, Jesus to another. So, and for some, I don't want the form of God. I want to feel the presence of that Supreme Being without any form. I want to experience that light of that formless aspect of God, that Brahman, all-pervading, pure consciousness. Yes, God reveals to that person in that formless form, formless experience. So that is the power of mantra and power of love for the mantra. And Om denotes the highest supreme God. Swami Vivekananda has explained very nicely what does Om denote. He says Om in fact denotes all thoughts that human being can have. It is a word which starts at A and ends with Ma. Om. So he says the beginning and end, all the words it contains. And different words that we find are all derivations of Om. And words are intimately connected with the thought. We cannot think without word. Words and thought are very related. Language and thoughts are very related. So, ultimately this is related with the thought. And from where the thought comes? Thought comes from God. So, Om represents, in Bible also there is there. In the beginning there was God, and there is Word, and Word was with God. And Word was God. What that word is? In Vedanta, it says Om is that word. Om is word of God, name of God. They say when the world was created, when there was no world, the first creation of the world started with Om. The first vibration. They say music of spheres first started. That's Om. Om is very much glorified in the Vedanta, in the Vedas and Upanishad is very much said. Now, the next, the Vedas says there are a few small phrases. They call Mahavakyas, big sentences. What is Mahavakya? Big, large sentence, Aham Brahmasmi. It's only 2 words. Yes, in size it is small, but in meaning it is vast. I am that supreme reality. I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. One Veda says, Aham Brahmasmi. In all the 4 Vedas, there are 4 great sayings. Great, large, not in the size, but in its meaning. One is Aham Brahmasmi. Another is Prajnanam Brahman. What is Brahman? Consciousness is Brahman. The pure consciousness by which we feel, we are aware, we can know that we feel we are living. That consciousness is Brahman. Not that life is Brahman, but that consciousness which pervades everywhere and which manifests in the living being as life force is Brahman. That consciousness is here in the dead matter, unmanifested. That consciousness is everywhere, somewhere manifested, somewhere not manifested. That consciousness is the supreme reality, unchanging, unborn, undying, blissful, ever present, ever aware, ever loving. Supreme love, supreme bliss. That consciousness is Brahman, Prajnanam Brahman. Second Mahavakya. First what? Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. The second is Prajnanam Brahma, consciousness is Brahman. Third is Tattvamasi. Thou art that. The teacher said, you have some idea about the Brahman, all pervading reality, immaterial, not made of any elements, any molecules, self-existent reality, unchanging. That reality you are. Thou art that. That reality, Tat Tvamasi. Tattvamasi is the third Mahavakya. All small phrases, small sentences. The fourth is, I am Atma Brahma. This Atman is Brahman. Me and my reality is Brahman. Brahman is not separate from you. That's what always. These all are saying the same. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, I am Atma Brahman. This Atman is Brahman. What is Atman? Atman is your real core, your inner core. That is Brahman. So like that, in the Vedas it was there. Then later came that we have the concept of avatars. All avatars' name are in fact God. Nama Nami Aveda, no distinction. The beautiful song that said, in the name of Rama is Rama himself. Rama is not different from the name Rama. When you say Rama, there is Rama. That idea. Krishna has Krishna. There are beautiful mantras, long mantras that we chant in the devotional temples. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Big mantra. This is also a mantra, but big mantra containing the name of God, repeating the name of God. Om Namah Shivaya. Another very popular mantra. Gayatri mantra, I meditate on the effulgence of the creator of 3 worlds. May that guide my intellect. My wisdom may be guided by God. Long meaning, but beautiful. No aspect of God is said, neither Shiva, nor Jesus, nor Kali. Only the meditation is being done on the effulgence of the creator of three worlds. And that is the meditation being done, and a small prayer. May that effulgence, that power, that creator may guide me. Sri Ramakrishna says, if God holds our hand, there is no fear. If we hold the hand of God, there is fear. We may sometimes lose in our weakness. The hand may be loose. But if God holds our hand, God, we have no fear. We are always safe and secure. May He guide our intellect. That is, may I be controlled. May intellect, my mind be controlled by God. When God controls something, it becomes godly. My mind becomes God. That is the prayer. May God manifest through everything that I do. May God be there in everything that I think. That is the meaning of Gayatri Mantra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Namna makari bahudha nija sarva shakti tatrarpita niyamita smarane kala. Oh Lord, you are so kind, so gracious. You have given us many names. You have not confined yourself to one name. You have given us many names. And after giving name, you have put all your power in the name. Whole of God in two-letter name of Rama. Whole of God in the three-letter name of Jesus. Or English, three-syllable name of Jesus. Whole God is there in that. Whole of God in G-O-D. God, monosyllable letter. Like Om, God. But we have to have that faith. God. Even they say the word Ma, the mother. It also a mantra. Mother has got the Ma word, has got the mother, divine mother, the creator of this universe, one with Brahman, the manifested Brahman, whole contained in the one monosyllable letter Ma. Om, Ma, God, Allah, all are the mantras which contain the complete, full, total God in that. So, God has created out of His mercy different names, various names, and put all His power, tatrarpita, nija sarva shakti tatrarpita. So, all His power He has put in those names. Whole of God is contained in those names. Then, niyamita smaranena kala. When should I remember God? Is there a niyam that I have to sit in an asana? No, there may be formal way of doing japam, but you can remember God. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, there is no rules, there is no bondage to repeat the name of God. Tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kala. No fixed time, no fixed place. You can remember the name of God anytime. Name of God is sweeter than the chocolate, than the sugar candy, than rasgulla, than sandesh. It is the sweetest thing for those who can enjoy the sweetness. The sweetness doesn't come itself first. We don't understand the sweetness. The taste is not God. So how the taste will come in the name of God? Ram, 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 Ram. I don't feel any attraction in the name of God. Somebody said, instead of saying Ram, Ram, I should rather say Sandesh, Sandesh, some sweet name. That I will enjoy. Yes, for him, Ram doesn't mean anything. He knows only the Sandesh. So, for the devotee, Ram means everything. And it is the sweetest name. All joy, all bliss is contained in this two-letter name, Rama. And he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, whom we consider as incarnation of God, Etadvishi tava kripa. Lord, you have so much of grace, so much of feeling for us that you gave us your name and you are in that. Otherwise, how we are catching hold of you? We cannot reach you. You seem to be so far, unthought of, unseen. How can we reach? Just your name is the thing we can catch hold through our mind, through our speech, through our talk. You can say Krishna. The Krishna is there. I am with Krishna. That feeling. You have given so much grace, so compassionate in the name of Allah, the compassionate, the merciful. Yes, etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan. Oh Lord, so much of grace you have. Then, durdaiva midrisha miha janina anuraga. What is my ill fate, Lord? I have no attraction for your name. You have given everything in your name, but know that love has not come for your name. How will it come? Can you grant that much love in your name, that much love for you, that my eyes don't stop shedding tears? May I cry like a rainy season. May my voice be choked taking your name. May my hairs stand when I repeat your name. That is the prayer Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. And he says, what a sadness that I don't have love for your name. That is problem with all of us. Love for God doesn't come by itself so easily. They say the way how to have the love for God, he says it is like the liver patient. When the liver are weak and not working or disease, then they say when you eat sugar, it tastes bitter. You don't have a dislike to eat sugar. But sugar is the medicine for the liver. Because you are weak, if you don't get energy, how liver will be cured? So you have to go on eating that sugar. Slowly, that bitterness of the sugar will go as we process day after day, and sugar will start tasting sweet, and liver will start getting cured. That is with us. We are filled with the disease of this worldliness. So that disease will go away if we take the medicine, this sugar. First, it won't be that tasty. We will not feel that attraction, that love. But as we go, the only way to grow that love for the name of God is repeating it again and again, more and more, day after day. That comes. Now there is a word called Mantra Chaitanya. These words of God, particularly the mantra that Guru gives to the disciples. Now it comes the formal imparting of mantra from Guru to disciple. So that mantra which Guru gives to the disciple becomes very powerful. It's not like saying Rama by hearsay or saying the Hare Rama Hare Krishna. That mantra given by the Guru to this disciple is something very potent, impregnated with spiritual power. And that mantra, when it is powerful with spirituality, is called Mantra Chaitanya. Mantra becomes living, mantra becomes conscious. That potent mantra, what happens? Let me read from Swami Adishwarananda. What is Mantra Chaitanya? The living, conscious mantra. What is that? The mantra used by seeker in the practice of japa is generally imparted by the spiritual teacher after it has been charged with spiritual power. The saving power of the mantra, as I said, mantra is what? That word which saves, which saves us, that was the definition. And saves the seeker and gives liberation. The saving power of mantra, liberating power of mantra is not the word itself, but the spiritual power transmitted to it. The spiritual power has been transmitted to the mantra through my Guru, to Guru's Guru, to Guru's Guru, from wherever the mantra has originated. The mantra is being repeated and practiced by so many people, and all that power is going into the mantra. And that mantra, when I get along with that word, we get that spiritual power, the blessing of all those Gurus, Gurus, Parama Guru, Parameshti Guru, Parapara Guru, lineage of Guru, all that they have put their power in that mantra. I get the blessing of all of them. So lucky. Now I need to repeat. The transmission of spiritual power is known as Mantra Chaitanya. It makes the mantra a potent force, very forceful, if it comes from Guru, from Sadguru. If my Guru is someone who is real Guru, who gives me with no intention, the mantra with no intention other than my spiritual well-being, my spiritual welfare, that alone is the concern of my Guru. He or she is no other concerned in giving me mantra, in making me his or her disciple. He is so loving, so kind, vasanta valloka hitam charanta. He or she does good like a spring season, no other intention, just comes and his presence, his grace, and I flourish, I flower, I bloom like the spring. Just the spring comes and plants bloom. No other intention the spring season has. Like that is the Guru. Japa helps the seeker to develop a taste for the sacred word he utters. Taste will come as we go on doing japa. Japa is an effective means of achieving purification of mind. As we go on repeating japam, our mind gets purified and we get more and more spiritual. Of course, if we could remember the name, the meaning of the japam. When we say Shiva, we have to concentrate on the meaning of Shiva. Shiva means auspiciousness, goodness, positiveness. That I am repeating. Everything positive, that is coming to me. I am not able to think anything negative in anyone, anywhere, not within myself, nor outside. Everything seems to be so good by repeating the name of Shiva. If we repeat the name of Shiva with the meaning of Shiva, auspiciousness, goodness, that is the meaning of Shiva. Now there are many types of japa. There is one is called vachika japa, when you chant the mantra loudly. Another is upangshu japa, very slowly in whisper. That's called upangshu japa. But the gurus in our particular Ramakrishna Mission tradition, they don't say to do vachika japa. Vachika japa, the guru in other traditions say the name of Hare Rama, that Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, or some words that you can tell loudly. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, like that. But in Ramakrishna tradition, they say don't tell it loudly. Don't even whisper it. Don't even let your tongue move when you are repeating. Let it be repeated in the mind only. That the mantra, when it is repeated in the mind, is called manasa japa. Vachika japa, speaking loudly, upangshu japa, whispering the mantra. Manasa japa is repeating the mantra in mind itself, thinking of the mantra. Then there is a tradition when you can do likita japa. You are too tired, mind is not concentrated. So you can make a notebook and write the mantra. Somehow you force, your mind comes there. Somehow you have to associate with the mantra. That's called likita mantra. Another is akhanda japa, likita japa. Another is akhanda japa. You fix a time. During that time, I will do japa. Or I will do 10,000 japa today. That time is called akhanda japa. For that moment, 10,000 times I repeat the name of God, the mantra I got from Guru. And there is ajapa japa. When japa is practiced, then every breath, oh that song, it was saying that make the name of Rama beats like the beats, and your breath as the garland, the song being sung. Hindi meant that Rama's name is the beat and your breath is the string. And with that, you breathe, every breath, repeating the name of Rama, it will become a garland of God. So every breath that you take in, every breath that you exhale, with that comes the mantra. This type of, when it is practiced so much, it is called ajapa japa. Those who have heard Swami Sridharanandaji's talk when he gave first time, when he came, an informal talk in the evening, and he was talking about his association with Swami Shantananda. Swami Shantananda was Holy Mother's direct disciple. And how he inspired him to do japam all the time mind repeating japam. It is becoming a japa japa. You don't have to effort. Every time that it's always that flow of thought continuously goes inside. With every breath that you repeat. There is another type of japa called purascharana. Means you start gradually increasing the number of times japam. So first day of after the new moon, first day, you do 1,000 japa. Next day, 2,000. And when it is full moon, it will be 15,000. Then after that, you do 14,000. Again reduce. And again, when it is the new moon, it is 1,000. So in 1 month, 28 days, you are increasing, gradually increase to 15,000 and gradually reduce to 1,000. That type of promise that I am going to do that type of japa. So it takes a lot of time. Sometimes that's what Sri Ramakrishna said. You go to in a lonely place and they practice devotion. That is what in lonely place we can practice. Be there for 6 months, 1 day, like that Sri Ramakrishna said. If you turn to 6 days, 6 months, do for 1 week, 1 month, 1 week, 3 days, like that he said, and practice that japam. Japam itself is wonderful spiritual practice. But to do japam, many factors that influence japam. One is the environment. That really affects our mind. Whatever affects our mind affects the quality of japam. If we are in a holy place, naturally the japam comes. So, in Chaitanya Charitamrita there is one saying, whom do I know is a devotee of God? How can I know that devotee? Not that only tilak, or if you put the cap here, or have the beard, or then you become a devotee, no. So how do I know a devotee? In Chaitanya Charitamrita it says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jahari dekhiya aise mukhe Krishna naam, tahare janibe tumi Vaishnav pradham. Know that to be the highest evolved devotee of God. By seeing whom, you automatically start taking the name of God. You feel the holiness. You feel that peace in presence of that devotee. Know that devotee. So there is an aura, there is environment is there when you come to the place, temple, church, the mosque, gurudwara, all they are meant for to have that environment. There is the posture, how we see it, Guru tells. There is a place, of course, where you want to see. In the Gita, they definitely said how we do meditation. And in Japam, there is the importance of keeping the fixed time. Last time also I said, fixed time. In the morning, suppose I want to do Japam from 6 to 7 or 5 to 6, wherever you can do in the evening also like that. Way of articulation is also important. As the Guru has said, the mantra should be repeated in the same way. We don't change the mantra that has been said from the Guru. Exactly as the Guru has said. That way. Pronunciation should be as Guru said. Not what it should be correct. We say, oh, Guru said this. Oh, this should not be this. He didn't pronounce it rightly. My Guru doesn't know Sanskrit very nicely. Sanskrit should be, no, that is not the way. What Guru has said, exact that should be the pronunciation. Then the fixed seat should be there, asana should be there, and the pace of mantra. It should not be too fast and too slow. If it is too slow, the mind will divert. If it is too fast, you cannot concentrate on the meaning. And most important is alertness. While doing japam, there should be alertness and reflection on the meaning of mantra. It should be done with full attention on the meaning of mantra, and mantra should be repeated. Now, there are so many mantras. If you have read the book, How to Live with God, beautiful book. In that book, Swami Chaitananda ji says about the meaning of Ramakrishna. Many of us here are the devotees of Ramakrishna, God. Instead of saying Ram or Hari or that, they say Ramakrishna is God for them, or the Ishta for them. So Ramakrishna name is such that it has two words, Rama and Krishna. And Rama, it says, Rama, what is Rama means? Ramante yoginha asmin iti Rama. He who bestows delight upon the yogis is Rama. So yogis are the devotees. The Rama word gives joy, delight to the devotees. That the word means giving joy. And what the Krishna means? Karshati bhaktanam dukkham papam manova iti Krishna. Krishna means attracts, absorbs. What does it absorb? He who absorbs and destroys the sin and suffering, dukkham papam, sin and suffering, manova, or mind of the devotees, or he who attracts the devotees' minds and dissolves them in his devotion is Krishna. So Krishna attracts our mind and takes away our sin and suffering. Rama gives us delight. That Rama and Krishna both are there in Ramakrishna, and it means that he gives us joy and he takes away all our suffering. That is what Ramakrishna is. When Rama was born, Dasaratha asked Vasishtha to give the name to this young born boy. Vasishtha said to him, Rama is good name. Dasaratha said, what name you are giving? He is going to be my heir, the heir for this this empire of Ayodhya. And so such a big person who is going to be, and you give him such a small name, Ram. Then Vasishtha explained, Dasaratha, what Ram means. Ram is so important. Ram comes, the Ram comes from the wonderful mantra of Vaishnavas, Namo Narayanaya. If you remove the Ra from that mantra, Namo Narayanaya, I bow down to Narayana, the God. If you remove Ra, what it becomes? Namo Nayanaya. And it means, Namo Nayanaya means salutations to the sensual objects of the world. Before it was salutation to the Supreme Being, the Lord of the world, now it becomes sensual objects of the world. So that Ra word is so important that it can make worldly thing a godly thing. At that, it becomes God. So that Ra is in Rama. And Ma of the Rama comes from Namah Shivaya. You remove Ma from Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya means I bow down to Shiva. Then what it becomes? Na Shivaya. Everything is inauspicious. That means that Namah Shivaya is I bow down to auspiciousness. I bow down to goodness. I acquire goodness. I want to be good. Remove that Ma, it becomes I bow down to inauspiciousness. Or everything is inauspicious. You are focusing on inauspiciousness just by removing that Ma. So Rama brings that. It makes both mantras so great by these two letters. And that letter is in Ramakrishna, is in Rama. Then was the Dasaratha convinced that Rama name is very great. And Rama, as I said, the meaning is who gives delight to the yogis. Krishna is one who absorbs and takes away his mind and removes the sins and suffering of the devotees. And this Rama and Krishna both are in Ramakrishna. So Ramakrishna name is so glorious. Repeating the name of Ramakrishna becomes so great. Swami Sivananda ji used to say, when you do Japam, take the name of Ramakrishna, think of the form of Ramakrishna. And one day you will read what that word represents. Ramakrishna is in one way the son of Khudiram, born, we worship in the human form. Another way is Supreme Being. That Supreme Being taking this human form. So meditate on the human form, and if God wills, He will take you the supreme experience of Supreme Brahman by granting you Nirvikalpa Samadhi or Nirvana, the bliss unassociated, independent of anything, the supreme bliss, the supreme goal of human being, by getting which nothing else seems to be achievable. Yam labdhva chaparam labham manyate nadikam tata. By attaining which nothing else seems that I should get that. You have fulfilled, completely satisfied. That is Ramakrishna. That is Rama, that is Krishna, that is Hari, that is Allah. And that is the name of God. That is the divine name of God. And the mantra contains that divinity.